Hi, welcome to the Power of Pete. Like my emoji blanket, it's actually not mine. It's my daughter's. I'm actually doing laundry. So a couple things. I'm going to give you a little bit of history about who is talking right now. I'm very happy today. It's a great weekend. A lot of good exercise. I actually got something from my father used to wear. Our name, my son as well. So it's special that I'm wearing it. I must admit I've been quite emotional lately, I guess for a couple different reasons. Once again, so many great things happening, especially with work. I see a lot of great things happening. But I want to talk to you a little bit about who I am and what got me here. Because it's so important to know we are a product of our environment, right? That being the case, everything that we've done up until now has been important, good or bad. It's made us who we are, and it's important to know the history is important, for that reason, to hopefully learn from it. I always tell my kids, my father always said it, when you make a mistake, so I used to kind of dwell on mistakes. I'm still trying to battle that. It's done, it's over, stop analyzing it. To think about something is fine, to overanalyze something is not something that one of my weaknesses I tend to do. I try to figure out why people do things and why I did things, and a lot of times it's just not worth the thought, right? It's not worth the aggravation. So, if you didn't, I guess you didn't know, I grew up in Bloomfield. Part of the reason why I'm so blessed and have such a great attitude is because of the people that I've been surrounded by. And it all started off with family. I can shout out forever how many positive influences that I've had, but the couple that really stick out majorly in my mind, grandparents, but my grandmother in particular, who always seemed like she had wise words to say. And with that, she always said you can take the long, hard road, which is the right road, or the easy, short road, which is the wrong way, and take the hard one and do the right thing, she would say to me, Peter. My dad, and she's passed. My father, who was passed, always, it seemed like he was the most, both of them were very calm, peaceful, never seemed rattled, always seemed happy and content, and seemed very grateful for all the things, that they had. Especially, both of them, especially when they were younger, even older, didn't have a lot. But in the end, they both believed in Jesus and in God, and that helped them personally through their journey and gave them a lot of faith that they'll be with their loved ones when they pass. And I remember one day I actually looked at my grandmother's eyes when we were in the hospital, and I didn't know she was going to die, but for some reason, I guess I knew it was somewhat serious. It had to do with her heart. And I said, are you afraid? I don't know why I would say something like this. I did love her, and I feel like I can say anything to her, but I said, are you afraid to die? And she looked at me like with eyes that said, I think I probably will, but I'm not afraid. And she said, Peter, why are you afraid? She said, were you alive? At that point, what was I? 20 years old, something like that. I was in Bergen Community High School. I forgot the actual the date. And she said, were you alive before you were alive? She went into a whole explanation of, what, things change, you weren't here, now you're here, maybe one day you won't be here, but in the end, don't be afraid. Live for the moment. So, that, just living in a household with love really helped me a lot. And I actually, hold on one minute, my daughter is calling me. Raphael, I got to get back to you. I'm in the middle of videoing something. So that, having a family store, I learned a lot from that. It was a fishing tackle business that turned into a fishing and hunting business. It's funny, my family and I never fished or really definitely didn't hunt. I don't own a gun. I don't see anything wrong with it, but I don't. And had some good close friends. But things that if I had to go back in time and change, had a lot to do with fear, being afraid of others, being afraid of just being shy, not going for things, wanting to say things to certain people and not doing so. So when I look at my children, I constantly, first of all, I want them to have more than I do and do better than I did. And I can say as of right now, they're going to be 13 on March 7th. And I'm very proud of them. It's like amazing. It's like, first of all, I was a chubby little kid. I've been battling that my whole entire life. Now as well, of course, even though I've had some recent success with losing like 60 pounds. I got a long way to go. Hence, I'm on the bike right now talking to you. But, you know, their weight is good. Their grades are better than mine. They've actually have more friends than I had. I know quality, and so I'm not complaining about my friends by any means. I'm saying they have a lot of good friends. They've been involved in a lot of activities. I was involved in some activities. So, you know, I've always said, and the list goes on, from vacations to things. I guess they're a little spoiled. So was I. I was an only child, and that's the most important thing to me is, you know, my kids and that they're taken care of. I've always told them, I said, you know, my life will not be a success unless yours is. And that's part of the reason why, you know, I talk about this stuff and feel so passionate about it. So I'm very proud of them, and that's why, and I also pray more than I did. Even though my grandmother, you know, I went to church with her when she was alive. I stopped going for quite a long time, don't go enough as it is right now, but I do pray with them at least twice a day. I think that makes such a big difference, and I constantly say the same thing to them as I say to you. You know, give thanks, give praise, be specific, ask for things, be specific, and good things come to you. If I laid out to you how many good things happened to me just over the last couple of days, you would be like, wow, that is totally amazing. It's not just a coincidence. That's why I'm actually even talking about this today. So with the childhood, you know, I did good. I did okay in high school, Bloomfield High. I went to Bergen Community, did okay, but just kind of always skating through, doing the bare minimum, not really knowing what I wanted to do. Montclair State, graduated from there. In the end, I wound up where I was supposed to be, which is helping people. Actually, I'm a salesperson. A fancy title is business advisor. But in the end, I knew my gift was to always to talk. In a way, I actually make money from people listening to me, not from this, but because I am a business advisor and they take my advice and they purchase marketing and software and other things. So I guess I know something. But definitely people trust me and like me, and I love people. I'll go to the end of the world to make somebody happy. So I know this is an extremely long video, but I got some great advice from Kathy Ann, not Kathy, but Kathy Ann, saying, you know what, if people want to shut it off, let them shut it off. Because I got a lot of advice and flack from kids in school to personal close friends saying, don't do this, this is a bunch of hogwash, and you just ramble on, which I guess I have a tendency to do. But, you know, in the end, she's like, it inspired me. She said, I actually listen to you before I go to sleep. So I guess I'm doing something right for one person. At the least, the subscribers are going up, although it's only 19. It's less than a month ago, and I'm actually even proud of that. And I actually saw Mr. Adams. He actually is a janitor in the school system, and he was inspired by some of the videos and things that I said. Even my boss, Merhan, told her boss, the VP, Greg, and he was, I know she's listened to it, giving me some good advice, like some things about it. In the end, actually, she even showed it to her boss, you know, Greg. So it's all good stuff. But history is important. Knowing, you know, how we got here, why, the good things that have happened, you know, in our lives, and basically knowing who we are and what we want. Sorry, there's a lot of noise going on upstairs, but in the end, knowing who we are, what we want, is all part of this big journey. And the last thing I have to end off with is that never think that this, sorry about my appearance, I was working out today, assistant coach, I shouldn't even say that because Greg, the head coach, is the man. He is a great coach for basketball. I think he would be a great coach for anything, but we play the kids are 7th and 8th grade basketball. That being the case, never think that life is not a gift and everything does not make a difference, because it absolutely it does. What a gift. And as I was just walking on the track today, doing about a little over 4 miles, which is a good number for me right now based on where I'm at, I just was alone, looking at the sky, and I actually was emotional, because it was just such a beautiful moment, just to be able to not have to be in the rat race and to be thinking about just a clear mind, did a little bit of praying, and a little bit of thinking about things that might be happening in the near future. A little bit of worrying, but I try not to do too much of that. I guess worrying is a bad word. Being concerned, or maybe identifying things that I need to work on, is better well stated. But life is truly, truly, truly a gift. And the day that you truly accept that, number one, you'll start living your life like it's every day is your last, right? There's a lot of songs and everything about that. So keep on fighting the good fight. Keep on digging deep to know what makes you tick, who you are, what you're about, and what you want to do to in your life. I appreciate you taking the time to listen to this over 10-minute video. I hope you find a couple little things in it, and I hope you find your own power, because you do have the power. Give yourself more credit. You have the ability to go and do what you want to. This is a constant struggle, and it's a good one. It's a worthy one, because it's a gift. Take advantage of your gift. It's not a gift that you just open and everything is there and nothing changes. Every day things change. Everything makes a difference. So I know you can do it. Anytime you want to reach out to me, please do. My cell phone number is on like my Facebook or my Instagram, or you can my Instagram is my name, Peter Urato, Urato Jr. So just send me a message, and it'd be wonderful to talk to anyone. You probably definitely can teach me a lot of things, because I'm always learning. So thanks. God bless. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. Goodbye.